I'd like to call this meeting of the Woonsocket City Council to order for Monday, December 6, 2021. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Canoia?
Here.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
Here.
Councilman Gillette?
Here.
Councilwoman Sierra? Councilman Susi?
Here.
Councilman Ward?
Here.
President Gendron.
Here, we do have a quorum. If you could please stand for the prayer and the pledge.
God our Father, we ask that you send your blessing upon this city and upon this council. Guide us in our efforts, increase our motivation, and strengthen our resolve to build a better community and ensure a brighter future for the city of Woonsocket. This we ask in your name. Amen.
If we could, we have some members of Boy Scouts Troop 2 Woonsocket here, and they will be leading us in the pledge this evening. So, gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind, you can approach the podium if it's easier, and if the three of you want to lead us, thank you.
Hand over heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. First item on the agenda is a public hearing, Madam Clerk.
21R110, public hearing regarding the City of Woonsoket's RIDEM Recreation Grant application.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak for or against this application? Is there anyone that would like to speak for or against this application? Hearing none, I ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
Moved, Jim.
Motion made by Councilman Canoia, seconded by Councilman Ward. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and the public hearing is closed. Moving on to the agenda for Board of License Commissioners.
21 LC 52, application of licenses and renewal of licenses.
Mr. President, I make a motion to vote for the following licenses. Class D liquor, also new licenses for Class F1 liquor, holiday, street vendor, tobacco, also renewals for holiday, pool table, quarterly entertainment, victualling first class, and victualling second class.
Motion made by Councilman Gillette.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez and Councilman Susi. Comments?
Council President,
Councilman Ward.
two items. One is under the Class D liquor to extend the hour to 2 a.m. I know in general we have the ability to grant a 2 a.m. liquor license. Is this, Mr. Solicitor, this a normal course of business for a one-night extension like that?
Yeah, we could do it. We have the authority to do that.
Okay, very good. And the second one has to do with the quarterly entertainment license at the at Black on the left side of the building with the live band, DJ karaoke. It says, I'm assuming that's it says extension left side of the building, meaning an exterior. And I don't know that, did we ever issue their entertainment license for this quarter based on those stipulations for noise suppression?
I'm not sure. I'd have to double check with the clerk. I think this is for, what's the month for this one?
This one's January to March. The one in question was from October to December.
Okay, I'll have to double check that one.
Okay, could I ask that the quarterly entertainment license for Black be removed from the list and tabled to next meeting so that we can get that answer? And other than that, well, do I have to make a motion to remove?
Yeah, please, if you could,
All right,
please.
I'd like to move that we table the application for Black's quarterly entertainment license.
Motion made by Councilman Ward. Seconded by Councilman Canoia and Gillette to table the one application for Black's quarterly entertainment license. Any comments on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and that one item is tabled to the next meeting. On the main motion as amended, 21 LC 52, any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and 21 LC 52 is approved 6-0 as amended. Moving on to public comment. I would ask if there's anyone here that would like to address the city council, that you please approach the podium, adjust the microphone so that we can hear you, state your name and address for the record, and please keep your comments in good taste and under 5 minutes. Is there anyone that would like to address the city council?
My name is Charles Lemoyne. I live at 174 St. Barnabas Street in Woonsocket. I want to thank our Public Works for picking up all the leaves that were in the middle of the road on St. Barnabas Street this week. I believe it was on Monday or something. They picked them up because people blew them into the road, and that's it. They piled them up, so you didn't know if there was somebody in it playing or what. So thank you for doing that. The other thing I want to talk about is disability. I know they went out for bid for the senior center. What are they doing there, and when are they going to start? I know the bid came back in, but I haven't heard anything else.
Is there anyone prepared to answer that, or it hasn't come back before us? So
I can just give you a quick
Director,
answer
please.
to that. That went out to rebid, so.
Rebid? Okay.
Correct.
okay, thank you.
Because nobody bid on the first bid.
Okay, thank you, Director.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the city council? Hearing none, moving on to the consent agenda. Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Motion made by Councilman Ward, seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Are there any items to be taken up separately? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and the consent agenda is approved 6-0 as presented. Approval and correction of the minutes of the regular meeting held November 15th and a special meeting held November 29th.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Councilman Gillette, seconded by Councilman Susi. Comments? Any changes, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and the minutes from the November 15th and the November 29th city council meetings are approved unanimously 6-0. Moving on, I would ask if we could, before we get into presentation of petitions and memorials and remonstrances, if I could have a motion to take one item out of order, and it is under new business, authorizing entering into an agreement with Election Data Services Incorporated, 21077.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Ward, seconded by Councilman Canoyer. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Clerk, 21077 is before us.
Authorizing entering into an agreement with Election Data Services, Inc.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Councilman Ward,
Second?
seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Comments? Hearing none, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Canoyer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilman Gillette?
Yes.
Councilman Susi?
Yes.
Councilman Ward?
Yes.
President Gendron?
Yes, and 21077 is approved 6-0 first passage. Going back to the regular order of business, item number 11, presentation of petitions, memorials and remonstrances. Madam Clerk.
21P21, a request of the Public Works Director to address the City Council regarding the demolition of the old water treatment plant and future plans and/or use.
Director D'Agostino.
So, first of all, to the viewing public, the reason for my sunglasses, I had recent eye surgery, so I'm not trying to create a new vibe or whatever. So, I trust everyone received the communication today that I sent from CDM.
Yes.
I originally, communicated to you all that I thought we could salvage the building that's there. And, I was optimistic. But after meeting with many individuals who know quite a bit about rehabilitation and, that type of work, I'm in agreement actually with them that, the entire site should just be leveled. There's nothing really salvageable in that building. I don't know how many people have been in there, if you've been in there recently, but most of it is plumbing. and there's a lot of pipes with lead paint and so on and so forth. So there's not really much workspace there. It was never meant to have workspace. Mostly, computer system and plumbing and chemistry lab and that type of thing. So I'm of the opinion that we should just demolish the entire site, and then we'll figure out from there what the best course of action. I have a couple of ideas, and I'll share with the mayor, and I'll put those forward as time goes on. But I think for now we just put out, get some specs to demolish the site, and that's it. So I just want to communicate that.
Well, thank you, Director, and I'm actually relieved to hear that, because I think that was always my hope and my desire, is that we would see that as a blank canvas again and look at it for what it would best be served as having a clear ground. So I'm glad that you're going that route. Will you be putting it out for RFP for demolition?
Well, CDM's going to create the specifications for the RFP.
Okay.
And then we'll go out to bid, because it's a little more complicated than one might think. But I just want to remind the council, and the mayor is aware, that we still have quite a few employees at the water department, and we will need a plan. And I have some ideas, but we have the outside crew that has never been situated since I've been here. They were in the incinerator, and now we rent the space for them, and we have several trailers there where we have office staff on the old water treatment site. So for now that'll do, but we need a plan moving forward.
Well, when you're ready, if you want to put together a work session, be happy to schedule that, and we can have a much more detailed discussion. But thank you for updating us. Is there any comments from the council for Director D'Agostino?
Council President?
Councilman Ward?
Frankly, Director, I had always thought that the new treatment plant site would have some extra acreage to put that kind of facility up there, on top of the hill where there was a lot of equipment and material stored while they were doing construction.
Yeah, I never envisioned that for the new water, to house the staff there, because it would be too expensive. We'd have to blast again. I don't want to disrupt the existing plant that we just built.
Okay. No, I understand. The other question I have is, and it's not mentioned, and I don't even know whether it's relevant, but when they were discharging backwash into the river, I don't know whether or not there was ever anything that would have been considered to be contaminating the soils in that site. Is that something where DEM would have to have a look to see if there's something there?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Looks clean to me, so.
There you go.
Says the man with the eye surgery.
Keep the sunglasses on when you say that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Director. I hope your eyes heal quickly and
Thank you.
safely. Madam Clerk?
21P22, request the Vice President Ward to address the following items. 1, dog park operation and/or management.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The first one is that question about the dog park operation, because I noticed when the stop signs came down on December the 1st at the railroad bridge that the gates are now locked to the park. And I believe, I'm not positive, but is that park essentially closed down for the season until we put the stop sign back up and the season is over or the winter's over? Has that been the practice, and is that going to continue to be the practice?
I would envision that continuing being the practice. That's a park that we can't plow in the winter.
Well, and that's why my question revolves around, is the dog park going to be only seasonally available, or the people will have to park on Davison and walk their dog down to the dog park?
No, in my mind, it'll be a 3-season park.
Okay.
Because, like I say, we can't We can't plow it in the winter. It's a stone parking lot, and it cannot be paved, so.
And operationally, is there an expectation? I know in Pawtucket, it's run by volunteers, and the only thing the city does is empty trash cans, and that's about it.
Well, that's
Is there-
what I hope
Is there
we
an
can do here as
expectation of
well.
us gathering a committee of volunteers who will support that park and keep it viable and monitor behavior?
Yeah, well, that's, you know, we're going to provide maintenance like we do periodically there.
But it won't be anything supervised.
No, I can't envision leaving someone
No,
there.
I don't think it should be, frankly.
Yeah.
I was just wanted to be sure because it is an out-of-the-way location, relatively speaking, and I just wondered whether that was, how that would play into plans for it. Okay, you've answered my questions. Very good. Thank you. The other one had to do with a question I had a few weeks ago, and I had asked the Public Safety Department to look into it. It has to do with commercial vehicles and parking overnight, and certain size tonnage vehicles are not allowed to park on city streets at night. And I know in the one instance that I mentioned, it's on and off cleared up. But I've had other people point out other trucks that park in other neighborhoods that are oversized for overnight parking. And so I bring it up only to ask that whoever's patrolling at night maybe be more aware of that, that restriction, so that vehicles can be at least warned that they should not be parking at night before they're ticketed, but at least given a warning that they'll have to find a place off the street, because they do tend to stick out more into the road, and they can make a normal street crowded, especially when there's parking on both sides. So I would appreciate it if there was something could be done to ask the patrol officers to pay attention to that, and if they see it, to at least communicate to the owners that they can't be doing that. It's all just as a request.
If I could add to that, Counsel.
Thank you very much. That's all, ma'am.
Could I add to that?
Oh, by all means.
Director Gillette, yes.
Yeah, so we have, 1791, which is the ordinance that regulates commercial vehicles parked overnight. So our morning platoon has took initiative to make sure that that's not happening. We've ticketed probably over 3 dozen since this summer. Trailers not hooked up, trailers, it could be any commercial vehicle. So, we always try to get a communication to the people who own those vehicles. Some people just don't comply, so they have been ticketed. So we're definitely
good.
taking initiative on that.
All right. So if people mention it to me, I'll point that out. Thank you.
All set, Councilman Ward?
Yes.
Do you mind if I just, on the dog park, one quick question?
Yeah, Councilman Canoia.
When is the, my understanding is that we've received the equipment for the dog park, or the, whatever you call it. When's that going to be installed?
The equipment's been received, but the weather's is going to be kind of sporadic, so we're not crazy about pouring concrete right now for the foundations of that equipment, so we might just postpone it until spring.
Okay.
All set? Yep. Thank you. Moving on to unfinished business of previous meetings.
21073, authorize a connection to the City of Woonsocket Waterworks System.
Motion approved.
Motion made by Councilman Canoia,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Ward. Comments? Hearing none, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Canoia?
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilman Gillette?
Yes.
Councilman Susie?
Yes.
Councilman Ward?
Yes.
President Gendron.
Yes, and 21073 is approved, 6-0, second passage.
21074, requiring the mayor through her administration to issue a request for proposals seeking vendors to make multiple upgrades at 105 Cumberland Hill Road, also known as Albert G. Bray Memorial Animal Shelter.
Motion approved.
Motion made by Councilman Canoia, seconded by Councilman Ward. Comments? Hearing none?
No.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry.
Councilman Susie.
Oh, yeah.
No,
It's Valerie.
actually.
Oh, all right.
That's right. I just wanted a little bit more clarity on on what this, because I remember the last meeting when we were talking about the animal shelters. We were going to be getting some quotes on what it would take to repair one versus,
This is the repair.
so this is the repair, but are the quotes, I'm sorry, I didn't see the quote.
There's no quotes. This is to go out for quotes.
Oh, this is to go out? Okay.
Yes.
All right, okay.
Yeah, we haven't done any, no RFPs.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any other comments?
Council President?
Councilman Ward.
In light of the conversation we just had about the dog park and the fact that the parking area through there is, and the roadway is gravel and can't be plowed, I wonder how we would, in any case, site an animal shelter inside that park if the gates
It's the same
locked from
question that
April
came to me when,
April to March, so.
is it a 3-month animal
that's why I'll
shelter
support
too?
this. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah.
Hearing, Councilman Susi.
Yeah, I just have, because again, are we settled now that the animal shelter will be where it's at now?
I'm not.
Okay.
We said we're going to get,
Okay, but this is, okay, we're asking for what it would cost. Is that
Yeah.
what we're doing? Okay, cool.
If it's $10 million,
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth the
Right,
investment.
exactly, right, okay. Cool.
Any
thank
other
you.
comments? Hearing none. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Canoia?
yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilman Gillette?
Yes.
Councilman Susi?
Yes.
Councilman Ward?
Yes.
President Gendron?
Yes, and 21074 is approved, 6-0, second passage. New business.
21076, amending Personnel Code to reclassify the position of janitor police.
Motion pass.
Motion made by Councilman Gillette.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Comments?
Mr. President,
Councilman Gillette.
just curious as for the reasoning for this
Director Gillette or Director D'Agostino?
So this person currently works for me at Highway, but, well, let me start over. He holds a laborer's position, but he's never worked at Highway, put it that way. He's worked at the animal shelter, and he served as a janitor for the at City Hall, and for probably a year or more, he's been at the police station, where he does a good job. And so I'm looking for him to resign his position as a laborer for the highway, so I can actually hire a laborer that does work for me, and he'll serve as the janitor for the police department, and it'll just reshuffle. He should have never been the laborer at the highway. You know what I mean? I don't know how that happened back then, but it did, and so I just want to correct it.
Fantastic. Did you want to say something?
No, just, he
Okay.
said correctly.
All right, thank you.
Any other comments?
Council President?
Councilman Canoia.
Just wait for a minute. Steve, I gotta be honest with you, I'm gonna have a hard time supporting this evening. We just did the contract a couple months ago. We made changes and adjustments to various positions and salaries and so on and so forth. Went through a fairly extensive effort to make adjustments. And I am not, I'll be very honest, I'm not comfortable. I don't like making it a habit, and I'm not comfortable doing these one-offs. We just did all this. So either the individual, whoever it is, it's not, again, I don't know who the players are, but either they're a janitor or they're a laborer, and there's two choices here. And then in addition to that, to me this, and I don't want to get into a heavy discussion per se, but I don't want to open up a can of worms about other janitorial positions in the city. So I'm going to be honest, I will not be supporting it. So
That's fine.
Yep.
Any other comments?
Council President?
Councilman Ward.
I have to agree with Councilman Canoyer, and frankly, I'm a little surprised that the person in question has never actually worked as a laborer in Public Works, and so at some point going in, being classified improperly, it should have been corrected, but I guess the fact is there are two other janitors in that classification, and so to pull one person out and give them a different pay scale measured against the other two that are in the same classification, I mean, I'm not a member of a union or an officer of a union, but I have to tell you, I wouldn't feel very comfortable allowing one member to gain an advantage and actually bypass a whole level in the middle of employees and move up above them for what is, by definition in our organizational chart, the same job. So if it's something that needed to be taken care of, I think, as Councilman Canoyer said, it should have been taken care of during the contract negotiation. If those janitorial positions merit a higher pay, it was not, and I really hesitate to pick one person out of a group of employees and single them out for a higher pay within a classification. So I have a hard time supporting this also.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Council President?
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
So, I do understand we just went through the whole contracts, and I agree, but I do also know that sometimes things fall through the cracks. Obviously, we're saying we don't know exactly how this happened. I don't think if this was something that was coming up that is happening all the time, I think it would be different. But if we identify that there is an issue, I don't ever think there's a wrong time to correct it, you know, so I trust in, you know, what they're saying. I guess the public director and both directors are telling us that there needs to be a correction, and I would support it.
Yeah, so let me just comment on, first of all, this didn't come up during negotiations because the scenario, you know, this wasn't the scenario. He was going to stay at City Hall being the janitor, but then we couldn't find a janitor for the police station. And so he's been serving down there, and he does a good job, and he has added duties there, cutting the grass, and he's doing a bunch of other things. But like I said, I don't care either way. He's just not going to benefit my department. It's one less plow on the road. So either support it, don't support it, whatever.
So also,
But Director, why wouldn't he go, if this doesn't happen tonight, why wouldn't he just go back as a laborer, and then the police department would hire a janitor?
Well, we did. We put out, you know, an ad for janitors, and nobody applied. So, we've done that multiple times. So they like this person who works there. He does the job, but he doesn't want to take a pay cut.
Right.
Because that janitor's job is a pay cut.
Right.
It's less than what he's making. So, which I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying?
So if I could just add, Mr. President, just to further clarify what the two directors have said, this didn't come up in contract negotiations because, as Steve said, that person was in a different position. So when he went over to the police station, they couldn't fill that position. When he went over to the police station, the police like him. He's doing a good job. He's doing a lot more than the normal janitor would do. But practically speaking, his pay now is, I think, around $30 a week more than the janitor position. And the union, I spoke to the union. The union understands he's doing a good job there. The union's not opposed to this. So just to give you some background on it, that's why it came up. It came up the way it did.
Okay, thank you.
Council
President.
Oh, go ahead.
Councilman Gillette.
Couldn't the job be put up for bid, have them bid on it, and then fill a position that's vacant?
We did. We put it out to bid.
The bid, not for hire, I'm talking within City Hall. Well,
No, this is
and did he bid on that job?
yeah.
Did he
applied.
get the job?
Yes.
Well, then he doesn't work for highway anymore.
Well, no, he won't accept it unless this legislation passes. He'll
He's
come
sort
back
of-
to City Hall.
He's sort of on loan.
He's on loan from us.
From
We've been
highway
loaning him there
to that
because they can't
position.
get anybody.
And they couldn't get anybody.
And we
they
can't
like
get
the job
anybody
he's
here at
doing,
second shift, so
but he's not going to take it permanently because he'd be taking a $30, $31 a week pay cut. So if the police department wants to keep him there, they have to increase the pay to what he's making now.
Okay.
And as I said, the union was okay with it. I brought it up to them. They know he's doing a different job, a more comprehensive job, and so they're in favor of it.
Council
They're
President.
not opposed to it.
Okay, Councilman Ward. Are you all set, Councilman Gillette? Councilman Ward.
If the position is going to be increased for that location and that job description, would not other union members have the right to bid for that job, knowing that the compensation level is higher, before you would grant it to a single individual?
Well, I mean, they could certainly apply for it.
I mean, have
They could apply for it. I don't know if they would get it. They could apply for it.
You
Because
don't-
this individual's been there.
Oh, seniority wouldn't, but that's the point. You've already given the guy the benefit of the doubt, so you're basically singling this for the person, not for the job. This is about giving somebody that's a particular person a benefit, which is completely contrary to what collective bargaining represents.
Right, except, I agree with you, Councilman Ward, that's not what collective bargaining represents, but in this particular case, from what I understand, and the union had knowledge of it, he's doing more than
But did the other janitors have knowledge
Yeah,
of
he's
it?
doing more than the other
Did
janitors.
the other janitors in the system have knowledge of it?
The union does.
And know that they had the
They're
potential
they're the,
to bid for a higher
exclusive-
paying
They're the
job?
exclusive bargaining agent for all their members, so
That didn't answer my question.
I don't know. All I know is that,
Well, I can't support this. This is
yeah.
Completely outside of the realm of what unions are supposed to represent. It is singling out an individual for benefit over what other individuals who have much more experience, and you're actually saying that the complexity of a janitor's job at a police station is so significantly greater than the complexity of a janitor's job at City Hall or the library that it merits this kind of consideration. And if that were the case, they should have made that argument in collective bargaining and changed the title of the job. But they didn't, and we're here now, and I can't support this.
Any other comments? Hearing none, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Canoia?
No.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilman Gillette?
No.
Councilman Susie?
Yes.
Councilman Ward?
No.
President Gendron?
No. And 21076 is defeated 4-2.
21R 108, authorizing the cancellation of certain taxes.
Motion passed.
Motion made by Councilman Gillette,
Second?
seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Comments?
Caught me off guard, Mr. President.
Sorry.
Oh, yes, Council President.
Councilman Ward.
This abatement represents a total amount of several items equaling $1,398.38.
Thank you, Councilman Ward. Any other comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and 21R 108 is approved 6-0.
21R 109, authorizing the cancellation of certain taxes.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Councilman Ward,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Canoyer. Comments?
Council President?
Councilman
Just for the
Ward?
amount. For the correction of the assessed value, this represents an abatement of $9,395.19.
Thank you, Councilman Ward. Any other comments?
Mr. President,
Councilman Gillette.
I was noticing on page 2 where a tax assessor, tax assessment division is supposed to be signing, someone is supposed to be signing, there's no signature. Is the tax assessor supposed to be signing that? And if, seeing we don't have a tax assessor, who's doing the job and how are they being compensated?
Mayor, you want to take that, or?
No, we don't have a tax assessor.
No, we don't have a signature on this paper. And under normal conditions, a tax assessor would be signing this, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The person doing the job is not signing it?
We don't have a tax assessor, so
Well,
we can't.
Who sent this?
We have a girl who is doing some of the work, but she's not comfortable with everything. We have a significant challenge along with some other communities in finding a tax assessor. So it's problematic. It's going to get more problematic, and we're going to have a serious problem come budget time. So some of the work is getting picked up by different employees within finance, but unfortunately, there isn't anyone who has the complete knowledge and authority in this area.
Are they being compensated for this extra duty?
That I'd have to check. I'm not sure. No one is being compensated as a tax assessor, though.
No, but they're doing extra work outside of their normal realm, which is tax assessor's work. And there's no signature on here. And that bothers me. Who's the authority on it?
Finance director.
So there is an employee that is helping in this area to manage the daily work, and I mean, she doesn't feel comfortable signing it. I can sign it going forward. If
I was just going to
that's what you
say,
choose.
you're the next person above the tax assessor, so maybe you should be signing this, and then people like me wouldn't be able to complain.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fine.
You may be the first person that was able to not get him to complain.
Simple task.
It doesn't solve our problem, though, and I think we really need to look into this because it's very problematic for us.
Yeah, I just realized that the person's signature wasn't on here, tax assessor. We don't have one, so in my mind, who's going to take responsibility if this is wrong and we don't have a tax assessor? Right now, it looks like it would fall into your lap. So, you know, that's why
sign
your
it.
signature should be on here. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and 21R109 is approved, 6-0.
21R110, in support of the City of Woonsocket's RIDEM Recreation Grant application.
Motion approved.
Motion
Second.
made by Councilman Canoyer, seconded by Councilman Ward. Comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and 21R110 is approved, 6-0.
21R111, approving Amendment 1 to the Subrecipient Agreement Federal Funds by and between RIDOT and the City of Woonsocket Main Street Improvements, Woonsocket.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Councilman Ward,
Second.
seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and 21R111 is approved, 6-0. Since there is no further business of the City Council, I look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Ward,
Move. Second.
seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and we are adjourned at 7:37. Have a good night, everyone, and thank you, gentlemen from Troop 2.